Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Life Atlas. Have you ever felt impatient with your own life? The feeling that you've planted so much, worked so hard, yet your soil remains barren, with no green shoots in sight. We live in a world that worships instant results, and waiting has become almost unbearable. Today's story is an antidote to that impatience, a lesson I learned in a place right before my eyes, yet worlds away from the noisy city below. I was going through such a phase where everything seemed to be at a standstill. My career wasn't progressing, relationships were stagnant, and my soul felt like a winter garden, barren and empty. The harder I tried, the more helpless I felt, as if I were trying to sow seeds on concrete. It was during that time that I heard people talk about a secret garden. It wasn't in the suburbs or some faraway place, but on the rooftop of an old apartment building right in the middle of District 3. They said it was a completely different world. Intrigued, I decided to find it. After climbing a set of old, worn-out stairs, I pushed open a metal door and stepped onto the rooftop. I was overwhelmed. Before me was not the usual concrete drying yard, but a lush green garden, a true oasis suspended above the rooftops of Saigon. The blaring horns from the streets below were instantly replaced by the buzzing of bees and the gentle rustling of wind through the leaves. The air was fresh, carrying the scent of damp earth, flowers, and life. In the middle of the garden was an elderly man, likely the one who tended this place. He wasn't digging or watering. He was just sitting quietly on a small wooden stool, his kind eyes gazing at the beds of plants. He didn't seem to be working, but rather conversing with his garden. I walked closer, and my eyes fell on an empty patch of soil. It looked dry and lifeless, a stark contrast to the richness surrounding it. Carrying my own impatience, I asked him, "Sir, why aren't you planting anything in this patch? It seems forgotten." The gardener turned to look at me, his smile as gentle as the greenery. "I haven't forgotten it, young man. I'm letting the soil rest." "Letting the soil rest?" I asked, surprised. "That's right," he explained slowly. "After every harvest, the soil needs time to rest, to regenerate its nutrients. If we greedily plant crop after crop, the soil will be exhausted. The next harvest will fail, and the plants will be stunted. Sometimes, doing nothing is the best thing we can do." He pointed to a rose bush with bare branches. "You see, in the winter, the trees must shed all their leaves. They look as if they've died, but that's when their roots are working silently, gathering strength deep underground. There must be a desolate winter for a glorious spring to arrive. Our lives are just like that." His words were like a ray of light. I realized it then. For so long, I had been too cruel to the soil of my own soul. I had forced it to bear fruit constantly without giving it a winter to rest, without giving it quiet moments to regenerate. I had been impatient with my barren phases, not understanding that this was precisely when the roots of my soul were growing deepest and strongest. The gardener continued, as if reading my thoughts. "A gardener's job isn't to force the flower to bloom or to make the tree bear fruit. You can't make a seedling grow faster by pulling on it. Our job is to tend the soil, to pull the weeds, to provide water, and to wait with patience. Trust the plant, trust the season, and most importantly, trust your soil." I stood there, in that high-up garden, and took a deep breath. For the first time in months, I no longer felt the pressure to bloom. I accepted my winter. I knew that the soil within me was not barren. It was simply resting. The soul of each of us is also a garden. There will be seasons of fragrant flowers and sweet fruits, and there will also be seasons when the soil needs to rest. The lesson from the Rooftop Gardener reminds us that patience and faith in the natural process are the most important nutrients of all. If this story has helped you feel more at peace with your own winter, please like this video to share this sense of calm. And please follow the Life Atlas channel, because this is a space for us to learn how to garden our souls together. By following, you'll become part of a community that reminds each other that tending the soil within is far more important than impatiently waiting for a harvest. Thank you for listening. May your garden always be at peace.